Hello, my dear viewers. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you. I'm so incredibly happy to have you here with me today. Honestly, your support, your presence, it means the world to me. You're not just viewers. You're my family, my strength, my reason for being here. I wouldn't be doing this without you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for always being here. You have no idea how much your love and support drive me every single day. Now I know you're all here for something special. And trust me, today's blockbuster love story will take you on an unforgettable emotional ride. It's a tale of passion, heartbreak, healing, and the kind of love that shakes your soul. From the first moment to the last, this story will hold your heart and leave you breathless. So stay with me till the very end. I promise it'll be worth it. But hey, your feedback matters. Once you finish watching, drop a comment and tell me, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much you loved today's story. I genuinely want to hear from you because your thoughts help me grow, improve, and bring you even better content. Your response fuels me. Your presence keeps me going. Without you, none of this would be possible. So without wasting another second, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's dive into today's epic tale of love and destiny. Get ready because this one will steal your heart. James stood at the foot of the hospital bed, his gaze fixed on the unconscious woman before him. Binta lay motionless, her chest rising and falling with the steady rhythm of the machines. James had treated countless patients, but none had ever affected him like this. His brown eyes traced her smooth skin, glowing under the harsh hospital lights. Her long braids framed her face perfectly, her full lips slightly parted. He didn't understand why she stirred something so deep within him. Logically, he should remain detached, but the pull was undeniable, as if he'd known her in another life. The first time he entered her room, he expected professionalism, not this breathless intensity. His hand trembled as he brushed a stray braid from her forehead. "Binta," he whispered, voice tender. "I'm James, your doctor. I'll take care of you." He knew she couldn't hear him, but he needed her to. He returned to her room more than necessary. After rounds, after every other patient, he'd sit beside her for hours, talking about his day, his past, his dreams. He told her about medical school, his mother's illness, the guilt of losing patients. Sometimes he laughed. Other times his voice cracked with emotion. He memorized her face, the curve of her cheekbones, the softness of her lips. He imagined her voice, her laughter. The more time he spent with her, the harder he fell. It was irrational, unprofessional, dangerous. But he couldn't stop. He adjusted her meds himself, ensured her room stayed peaceful, played soft music. Nurses noticed. "James, you're spending a lot of time with her," one teased. He shrugged, unable to explain. One evening, he pressed her hand to his lips. "Please wake up, Binta. I need to hear your voice." His words broke. Vulnerability laid bare. Then a twitch. Her fingers moved. His breath caught. "Binta?" No response, but his heart raced. "Hold on, I'm not going anywhere." He realized then he wasn't just her doctor. He was falling for her. And the thought of losing her, before ever truly knowing her, terrified him more than anything. His devotion grew deeper. He refused to believe she wouldn't wake up. Every morning, he'd sit beside her, stroking her fingers, whispering, "You're not alone. Come back to me." Changing her bandages became sacred. His touch, impossibly gentle. When her skin trembled under his fingers, hope flared. Nurses warned him. "You're too attached." He ignored them. Dr. Reynolds called him in. "James, this isn't healthy. If she doesn't wake up, she will." He didn't care about boundaries anymore. He'd stay by her side, reading to her, his voice softening over romantic passages. His colleagues whispered, "Let them." One night, forehead pressed to her hand, he whispered, "I'll wait for you, however long it takes." It wasn't logical, it wasn't professional, but it was real. And then, her fingers squeezed back. James's breath stopped. She was coming back, and he'd be there when she did. James moved with precision, unwrapping the gauze from Binta's arm, his fingers lingering on her smooth brown skin. The dim hospital lights cast a golden glow over her, making her radiance even more striking. His breath steadied, his hands sure, yet every brush of his fingertips sent his pulse racing. Irrational. He knew it, but he couldn't stop hoping that today her dark eyes would flutter open and meet his. He'd spent countless nights beside her, whispering about his day, the weather, the books he read. But today felt different. A strange energy hummed in the air, raising the hairs on his neck. He dismissed it, focusing on securing the fresh bandage. His thumb traced her pulse point, steady, strong. Then, a twitch. His heart stopped. Her fingers moved beneath his hand. James's breath hitched. His grip tightened. Binta! Another flicker. Her legs shifted under the sheets. He shot to his feet, slamming the emergency button. Nurses rushed in as he cradled her face. She moved! Her hand! Her leg! I saw it! His voice was raw, desperate. The staff exchanged glances. Muscle spasm? No! His jaw clenched. She's coming back! 2 days passed. James barely left her side. Then, a soft sound, a flutter of lashes. His heart slammed against his ribs. Her eyes, dark, dazed, opened. Time froze. Her gaze found his. Confusion. Recognition. James! His name on her lips. Broken, weak, nearly shattered him. A tear slipped down his cheek as her trembling fingers brushed his jaw. He leaned into her touch, his breath ragged. I've been waiting for you, he whispered, forehead pressed to hers. So long. Her faint smile sent his soul soaring. Recovery was slow. Love wasn't. James stayed. Every shaky step she took, he was there. Every whispered word, he listened. And when she finally stood on her own, her hand in his, he knew Binta's strength returned day by day, but her mind swirled with unspoken questions. The hospital room had become familiar. White walls, humming machines, and him. James. Just his name sent warmth through her chest. It started when Nurse Carol mentioned, "He never left you, dear. Sat by your bed every night, talking to you like you could hear him." Binta's brow furrowed. Why? Carol only smiled. But the question festered. Why would James, stunning, composed, brilliant, devote himself to a stranger in a coma? She watched him, noticed things. The way his dark hair fell across his forehead when he thought no one was looking. The rough shadow of his beard, framing a jawline sharp enough to cut glass. The quiet intensity in his brown eyes when he checked her vitals, his fingers lingering on her wrist a beat too long. Nurses whispered, "He's in love with her." But why? He could have anyone. Binta's heart clenched. Why her? One afternoon she dared to ask. James sat on her bed adjusting her IV. His thumb brushed her knuckles. "Why did you stay with me?" His gaze softened. "Because I couldn't leave you." "But why?" He exhaled, rough. "I don't know. I just knew I couldn't let you go." Her pulse thundered. Nights were worse. One evening she found him asleep in the chair beside her, lashes dark against his cheeks. Something inside her cracked. She didn't just want answers. She wanted him, his touch, his devotion, him, the confession. She cornered him in the hallway, her voice trembling. "Why did you care so much?" James stilled. Then, his hand cradled her face. "From the moment I saw you, I was drawn to you." Her breath hitched. "I told myself it was just my job," he admitted, thumb stroking her cheek. "But when you woke up, I knew." "Knew what?" His eyes burned. "That I was falling for you." A beat. Then, Binta's fingers curled around his wrist. "I could feel your care," she whispered, "even when I was asleep." His breath faltered. "And I think," her palm pressed against his chest, "I'm starting to feel the same." James's grip tightened. The rooftop restaurant glittered beneath a canopy of fairy lights, the city skyline stretching endlessly below them. Binta's black dress clung to her curves, the candlelight catching the nervous flutter of her pulse at her throat. James's gaze burned hotter than the flame between them. "You take my breath away." His hand slid across the table, fingers intertwining with hers. She should pull away. This was too fast, too intense. but his thumb brushing her knuckles sent fire racing up her arm. Their conversation flowed like the wine. Childhood wounds, lost parents, quiet dreams. When James confessed he'd become a doctor after his mother's death, vulnerability shadowed his usually steady eyes. "She'd be proud of you," Binta whispered. His grip tightened. "It's not just about her anymore. It's about you too." Then, his lips brushed hers, soft as the night breeze, electric, inevitable. "I think I'm falling for you," she breathed against his mouth. James's smile was a promise. "Good, because I'm already gone." The aftermath roses arrived daily. "You make my heart race." Lunch breaks stolen in sun-dappled parks. James feeding her strawberries, his thumb swiping juice from her lower lip. "Don't hide from me," he murmured when she blushed. "I want to see all of you." Midnight drives to deserted beaches, bare feet in cool sand, his arms wrapping her against the ocean wind. "I've never felt this way before," she admitted, salt spray on her lips. James cradled her face, moonlight etching his sharp features. "Say that again." "I like you." His kiss tasted like the sea, wild, endless, theirs. The rooftop garden shimmered under a canopy of lanterns, jasmine perfuming the air as the city lights twinkled below. Binta's white dress glowed in the moonlight, her breath catching when James suddenly knelt before her. "From the moment I saw you, you changed me." The velvet box opened, revealing a diamond that caught fire in the lantern light. Binta's hands flew to her mouth. "You showed me what love is," James continued, voice rough. "I don't want another day without you. Marry me." Tears spilled down her cheeks as she whispered yes, the word trembling on her lips. James slid the ring onto her finger, a perfect fit, before surging to his feet and capturing her mouth in a kiss that tasted like forever. "Mrs. James," he murmured against her lips. She laughed through tears. "I love how that sounds." Binta's pulse quickened, her fingers clutching his shirt as she pulled him closer. James smiled, his arms firm around her waist, his lips sealing hers in another searing kiss beneath the city's muted glow. As Binta wound her arms around his neck, heart hammering, she knew this was forever. Morning light spilled through their penthouse windows, gilding marble floors and sleek furnishings. Binta sat on the ivory sofa, eyes locked on the leather-bound document in her shaking hands. Her silk robe whispered against her skin as James emerged, hair damp, dressed in a loose white shirt and slacks. His sharp gaze caught her tension. "What's wrong?" He knelt before her, hands warm on her knees. Binta's breath faltered as she offered the papers. "James, I want to give you half my fortune." His jaw tightened as he scanned the document. "Why?" he asked, voice low. "Because you saved me," she whispered, eyes glistening. "You loved me broken. How could I not give you this?" James's grip tightened. "I don't want your money." His thumb brushed her lip. "I never loved you for it. From the moment I saw you in that hospital bed, all I wanted was you." Her chest ached as he wiped her tear. "You're the only treasure I need." His kiss was soft, lingering, arms pulling her into his lap. The document lay forgotten as Binta melted into him, heart racing. "You're sure?" she breathed. "All I need is you," he vowed, lips claiming hers again. Their love bloomed, mornings wrapped in sunlight, James whispering, "Good morning, my love," as Binta woke in his arms. Coffee on the balcony, his hands possessive around her waist. "Forever," she'd murmur, kissing his jaw. He adored her relentlessly, notes tucked in her purse, flowers, just because, travels etching memories, Paris under golden lights, Santorini sunsets, Tokyo's cherry blossoms. "You're my everything," he'd growl at night, worshipping her skin. Even ordinary moments glowed, James spinning her in the kitchen, jazz humming. "I'm the luckiest man," he'd say, and she'd tease, "because you have me. Because you're the only woman I've ever loved this much." Through fevers and trials, they clung tighter. A seaside villa gifted at twilight, his promise, "I want to grow old with you here." "Forever," she vowed under the stars. Years later, their daughter's wedding day, James pressed a kiss to Binta's knuckles. "You've given me everything." Tears shimmered in her eyes. Forever, James. And beneath the sunset's gold, their hearts beat, bound, unbroken, eternal. The city hummed beneath them, a symphony of distant car horns and flickering neon. James's arms were a fortress around Binta, his lips tracing the shell of her ear as he whispered, I can't wait to spend my life with you. Binta's breath hitched. She curled her fingers into his shirt, the fabric warm from his body, the scent of his cologne, sandalwood and something faintly citrus, wrapped around her like a second embrace. You already have me, she murmured, tilting her face up. James's smile was slow, devastating. His thumb brushed her cheekbone before he kissed her again, deep and unhurried, as if they had all the time in the world. And maybe they did. Because when Binta's hand slid into his hair, when his grip tightened possessively at her waist, she knew. This was it. The kind of love people wrote about. The kind that left marks on souls. The fortune morning light spilled across their penthouse, painting the marble floors gold. Binta sat on the edge of the cream sofa, the leather-bound document heavy in her hands. Half her fortune, a ridiculous, reckless offer. And yet, James emerged from the bedroom, hair damp from his shower, a white shirt clinging to his shoulders. His gaze locked onto hers, sharpening instantly. What's wrong? Binta's fingers trembled as she held out the papers. I want you to have this. His brow furrowed. He took the document, scanning the dense legal text. Then his jaw clenched. Binta, his voice was rough. This is half, she finished softly, because you gave me everything. The air between them thickened. James exhaled, slow before tossing the papers aside. I don't want your money, he said, stepping into her space. His hands cradled her face. I want you, only you. And when his mouth crashed down on hers, Binta forgot about fortunes. The wedding 6 months later, Binta stood in a lace gown, her reflection a blur of white silk and nervous joy. A knock, James's voice low through the door. You ready? She turned, and there he was, in a tailored tux, his dark eyes burning. God, you're beautiful, he breathed. The ceremony was a blur of vows and stolen kisses, but Binta would never forget the way James's hands shook as he slid the ring onto her finger, his whisper just for her. Forever. The honeymoon Santorini at sunset, James's arms wrapped around Binta from behind as the sky blazed orange. Remember this, he murmured against her ear. This moment, this feeling. She leaned back into him. I'll remember every second with you. Later, tangled in hotel sheets, James traced the curve of her hip. Where next? Binta grinned. Everywhere. The scare. The call came at 3 a.m. Binta's voice frantic. James, I'm at the hospital. He ran every red light. When he burst into the room, her face was pale, but she smiled weakly. False alarm. James collapsed into the chair beside her, pressing his forehead to their clasped hands. Don't do that again. Her free hand carded through his hair. I promise. The miracle. You're pregnant. The doctor's words hung in the air. James's breath left him in a rush. He turned to Binta, her eyes wide, lips parted, and then he was kissing her, laughing against her mouth. We're having a baby, he whispered. Binta's hands framed his face. Our forever just got bigger. The daughter. The first time James held their little girl, he wept. She's perfect, he choked out, pressing a kiss to the baby's forehead. Binta watched them, heart full. Looks like you. James met her gaze, raw emotion in his. Thank you. For the baby, for everything. The years, decades passed. Their daughter grew. James's hair silvered at the temples. Binta's laughter lines deepened. And every morning, without fail, he kissed her awake. Good morning, my love. The legacy. At their daughter's wedding, James pulled Binta close during the first dance. Remember our wedding? He murmured. She smiled. Like it was yesterday. His thumb brushed her ring. Forever, Binta. Her eyes shimmered. Forever, James. Or the beginning. Old and gray, they sat on the villa's porch watching the sunset. James's hand found hers. Still the best decision I ever made. Binta squeezed back. Loving me? letting you love me back. And as the sun dipped below the horizon, their hearts beat, together, unbroken, eternal.